It's Popples. Viral news and trending stories.
From Brandy Maxiell discovering on live television that her husband cheated hundreds of times, to Shaquille O'Neal's infidelity publicly humiliating his family, to Juanita Vinoy refusing to let her sons repeat Michael Jordan's mistakes. These are the women who refused to stay silent. They challenged power, and they exposed the truth behind basketball's biggest legends. Let's start with Juanita Vinoy. She was married to the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan, and behind the flawless public image was a reality few ever saw. For 17 years, Juanita stood beside Michael as he rose from a young star to a global icon, a name that defined greatness itself. They met in 1985 at a Chicago restaurant after a Bulls game. The connection was instant. Fame followed fast. Pressure followed faster. Yet in 1989, they married quietly in Las Vegas. No prenup, no safety net. While Michael chased championships and built an empire, Juanita held the family together. She raised their 3 children, Jeffrey, Marcus, and Jasmine, shielding them from the chaos of fame. She understood something crucial. Greatness on the court doesn't guarantee greatness at home. And that understanding would change everything.
My sons, when they were playing basketball, growing up through 8th grade and then in high school, the coaches always wanted them to wear the number 23 because their dad was number 23. But it was important to me that they learn not to try to be their dad. They needed to understand that they had to develop their own skills, and they needed to work hard and learn how to manage their own challenges on their own. And so I would insist that they not wear number 23, and the boys understood that right away.
But while the world watched championships and perfection, the marriage was quietly falling apart. In 2002, Juanita made a choice that changed everything. She hired a private investigator. What came back wasn't rumor, it was proof. Multiple women, a pattern, evidence that couldn't be explained away. One affair stood out, a relationship with a singer that reportedly began just 3 months after the wedding and lasted for years. Money was paid for silence, but by then, the damage was done. They filed for divorce in 2002, briefly reconciled, a second chance that many hoped would save them. It didn't. In 2006, they filed again. By December 29th, it was final. A $168 million settlement, one of the largest in celebrity history. Yet, Juanita never wrote a tell-all, never chased headlines. She chose dignity. She protected her children, secured what she deserved, and walked away from the shadow of basketball's greatest legend with her head held high. Then there's Shawnee Henderson. If one woman turned life as an NBA wife into an empire, it's her. Born in Texas, Shawnee met Shaquille O'Neal at the height of his dominance. They married in 2002. 4 children, power couple, or so it seemed. Behind closed doors, the story was different. Persistent infidelity, repeated separations, a cycle that kept breaking and rebuilding until it couldn't anymore. The divorce became final in 2011. Later, Shaq admitted the truth himself, calling his behavior an ego trap fueled by fame. Shawnee, meanwhile, spoke openly about starting over, financially, emotionally, on her own terms. And this time, she didn't just survive it. She built something bigger.
I was young. Despite the rumors, I didn't save a little for the rainy day. I wish I had, but I got divorced and I really had to start all over. I had to figure out how to manage my money, what to do with it, how to protect it, how to double it. And it was more, again, back to survival mode. I didn't want child support to be my source of life. I was like, this ain't it.
The moment that truly shook the sports world came years later. In her 2024 memoir, Undefeated, Changing the Rules and Winning on My Own Terms, Shawnee revealed a truth no one expected. Looking back, she admitted she wasn't sure she ever truly loved Shaq. What she loved, she wrote, was the idea of marriage, the dream of building a family, not the man himself. Shaq's response was raw and unfiltered. "I get it. I wouldn't have loved me either." And for once, there was no deflection, no excuses. Shaq publicly took full responsibility, admitting he failed to protect his wife, his vows, and his family. But Shawnee's story doesn't end in heartbreak. Instead of collapsing under the weight of betrayal, she rebuilt. In 2010, she created Basketball Wives, turning personal pain into cultural impact. 12 seasons later, she stands as one of the most powerful women in reality television, remarried, fulfilled, and firmly in control of her narrative. Then there's Larsa Pippen. Few NBA marriages have been dissected as relentlessly as hers with Scottie Pippen. Married in 1997 without a prenup, 4 children, and years of public unity until the cracks went public in 2016. Divorce filings, reconciliations, another filing in 2018, finalized in 2021. When Larsa finally spoke, she didn't hold back. She described Scottie as controlling, calling him the Punisher. She spoke openly about trauma during negotiations, and then stunned the internet with claims that dominated headlines and sparked disbelief worldwide. The drama escalated further in 2024, when a massive lawsuit tied both their names to explosive allegations. Still, despite everything, Larsa chose forward motion. She now says she and Scottie are on good terms, united by one priority, their children. And then there's Siobhan Funches. High school sweethearts, 5th grade beginnings, married young, a family built before fame took over. But what followed was one of the most brutal divorces in NBA history. Years of court battles, accusations that went global, claims of infidelity, abuse, and betrayal from both sides. A 6-year war fought in public. And in 2013, Siobhan made sure the world heard her voice, staging a dramatic protest that turned private pain into public reckoning. These women didn't just survive life beside legends, they confronted them and rewrote the story on their own terms. She sat on a mat in the middle of downtown Chicago, holding a handwritten sign, NBA Miami Heat star, mother of his children, on the streets. The protest was impossible to ignore. Cameras swarmed, headlines exploded, yet reports revealed a far more complicated reality: millions in settlement money, monthly support, and ongoing financial assistance. Still, the message was clear. The pain ran deeper than numbers. Years later, the conflict reignited in court. In 2022, Dwayne Wade petitioned to legally change his daughter Zaya's name and gender marker. Siobhan objected, accusing Wade of exploitation. Wade fired back, calling the claims baseless and accusing her of absence. In February 2023, the court ruled in Wade's favor, but the case exposed something far more lasting: the emotional scars of a family still at war. Siobhan didn't let the story end there. She rebuilt, founded a nonprofit supporting survivors of domestic violence, earned her law degree with honors, and transformed public humiliation into purpose. Her story became one of survival, not defeat. Then there's Lala Anthony. Her marriage to Carmelo Anthony looks like a modern fairy tale: hip-hop royalty, celebrity weddings, and red carpet perfection. They met young, built a family, married in front of the world. But in 2017, everything shattered. Allegations surfaced that Carmelo had fathered a child outside the marriage. The separation was immediate, the pain was public, and Lala was blindsided. "I was hurt because it was public," she later admitted, "because other people were involved, because there were allegations." They tried to reconcile. It didn't last. In 2022, Lala confirmed what many suspected: infidelity was the breaking point. Fame came with temptation, but betrayal, she made clear, was never something she would accept. These women weren't just witnesses to greatness, they paid the price for it. And when the spotlight turned harsh, they chose strength over silence. Lala later traced the collapse of her marriage to one pivotal moment, Carmelo's 2011 trade to the New York Knicks. The spotlight intensified overnight, privacy disappeared, and the pressure proved relentless. In June 2021, Lala filed for divorce. Despite the heartbreak, she chose grace. Today, she and Carmelo maintain a respectful co-parenting relationship, putting their son first. Her strength in the aftermath turned pain into inspiration. Then there's Eva Longoria. At the height of her fame, Eva married Spurs star Tony Parker in a fairy tale Paris wedding. It looked like forever until it wasn't. In 2010, Eva discovered hundreds of explicit text messages between Parker and the wife of his own teammate. The betrayal cut deep, not just because of what happened, but because it came from inside their trusted circle. Eva filed for divorce immediately. Parker admitted to the messages, denied anything physical, but the damage was irreversible. Later, Eva revealed the aftermath nearly broke her. She questioned her worth, her intelligence, her beauty, before realizing the truth. This wasn't about me. She moved on, remarried, built a new life, but the scandal still echoes as a cautionary tale of trust betrayed. Next, Khloe Kardashian. Her whirlwind marriage to Lamar Odom captivated the world, but behind the reality TV cameras was chaos, substance abuse, infidelity, and emotional devastation. They separated in 2013. When Lamar nearly died in 2015, Khloe put divorce on hold to save his life, but the damage was already done. The marriage ended in 2016. Over the years, Khloe revealed harrowing truths: journals burned in paranoia, violent confrontations, secret burner phones, moments of complete emotional collapse. She recalled, "I was on my knees, screaming." Yet through unimaginable trauma, Khloe chose empathy over bitterness, healing over hatred. Her resilience became the real story. And then comes a revelation so shocking it left even longtime fans stunned. Brandi Maxiel. Just because he plays sports doesn't mean he gets a free pass to cheat. For Brandi Maxiel, the truth didn't surface quietly. It exploded on national television. A Basketball Wives LA star, a cancer survivor, a woman who believes she had already survived the worst. Brandi married former NBA player Jason Maxiel in 2010. A son followed in 2011. From the outside, they looked united, tested but intact. Then came 2017. Brandi went public on Instagram, accusing Jason of cheating. The posts were raw, furious, a warning that the marriage was already collapsing. But nothing prepared her for what came next. In 2018, the couple appeared on Fix My Life. Brandi believed Jason had cheated 8 times, already devastating. Then, on camera, he confessed. 341 women, more than 50 during their marriage. Brandi froze. Then she broke, walking off set in tears, unable to process the betrayal she had just learned about in real time. The moment went viral, igniting national conversations about infidelity in professional sports. By 2024, Brandi chose peace. She announced their separation, moved to Los Angeles with her son, and began focusing on herself. Jason stayed behind. Today, Brandi runs her businesses, builds her brand, and lives what she calls her ME era. No longer defined by betrayal, only by resilience. Then there's Keisha Cole. Her relationship with former NBA player Daniel "Boobie" Gibson once looked like a modern love story. Dating in 2009, a son, marriage in 2011. But by 2015, rumors turned into proof. Keisha exposed everything on Instagram: screenshots, accusations, pain in real time. The posts went viral before disappearing, but the damage was permanent. Years later, she admitted why she stayed longer than she should have. For her son, for the hope of a two-parent home she never had growing up. Eventually, she chose herself. These women didn't just discover betrayal, they confronted it, publicly, and refused to let it define them. Keisha Cole filed for divorce in 2017. By 2020, it was finalized. Daniel Boobie Gibson admitted his mistakes, acknowledging infidelity without denying it, calling it a lapse of judgment and a betrayal of friendship in his youth. Then comes Sonia Curry. For decades, she and Del Curry were the model NBA family, met as student athletes at Virginia Tech, married in 1988, 3 children, Stephen, Seth, and Seidel, always courtside, always supportive, perfect image. Until 2021. Sonia filed for divorce citing marital misconduct. Court documents revealed mutual accusations of infidelity. Del accused Sonia of an affair. Sonia accused Del of sexual misconduct with multiple women. The story played out in public, with headlines dissecting every detail. In 2025, Sonia spoke emotionally on the Travis Hearn podcast, likening herself to biblical Eve, reflecting on regret, choices, and personal growth. Divorce finalized in November 2021, Del remarried, Sonia focused on faith, writing, and family. Despite everything, both continue supporting their children and grandchildren, attending games separately, but consistently. Next, Savannah James. High school sweethearts, teens in Akron, Ohio, married in 2013, 3 children, one of the longest-lasting couples in NBA history, held up as the gold standard of NBA marriages. Yet, in early 2025, rumors swirled. A public feud between Kendrick Lamar and Drake sparked unsubstantiated claims. Podcaster DJ Academics alleged that Drake facilitated encounters for LeBron. No photos, no videos, no evidence, nothing verified. Individuals named in the claims emphatically denied any involvement. LeBron has stayed silent on most rumors, focused on family and basketball. In interviews, he credits Savannah as his backbone. I have the luxury of having an unbelievable wife. My priority number 1 when I'm done playing the game is my wife, my kids. I just thank them for letting me have my time while I've had this profession. Until evidence emerges, these claims remain rumors. Through scandals, betrayals, and constant scrutiny, one truth stands clear. These women faced the pressures of NBA fame, the glare of the public eye, and the shadow of legend. And yet, they chose strength, resilience, and life on their own terms. Don't forget to subscribe and like.